Right, folks, so here we go. We are looking at the PAT, the CAT PAT for grade 12, and this comes to us from the South African Comprehensive Assessment Institute. Okay, so it's going to be a slightly different PAT, but I had this request, so let's go through this document and see what the PAT is all about, how it differs from the DBE, and also what is required from us. So they go through again what the PAT is, and again, please remember the PAT is 25% of your final mark. So that is no different to DBE, and it is a compulsory component. You also have, as I can see here, phase 1, phase 2, and then phase 3. And then we've also got, same with the DBE, a general section. I think the IEB also has something similar, where we give, as teachers, our overall evaluation of what you've done and the work, etc. So, don't overlook that. Okay, we need to get all the marks possible. Then they mentioned just what we need to complete the PAT in terms of software. Okay, and you obviously have that. They go through a couple of rules, and then we get to our theme, which is on e-commerce businesses. So they mentioned to us a little bit about what an e-commerce website is, what it does. There's a link also. And then they give you the scenario where you have a shop in a retail outlet and you want to increase your sales by selling your current products and new products online. You are required to research how to start an e-commerce or online business, the products that you sell, the policies you must implement, and the capital needed to start the business. Then they give you a few suggestions as well for possible topics that you can research. You are not limited to this, but these are just some of those that you can choose. Okay, so they've got things like different return policies, etc. So it all relates to that original theme. Right, let's see what else we've got here. Okay, I'm just running through some of those suggestions, barriers to online, different types of return policies, all of those things. So these are just some of the suggestions. They give you some resources as well. Don't look past the resources, okay? Please have a look at that. Have a look at those resources. Take your time. Right, so let's look now at phase 1 specifically. Now, similar to your DBE, you can see with our phase 1, we need to create a suitable folder structure. So you have to have a folder with your name, surname, grade 12, CAT, PAT. You've got to have a phase 1 folder. You have to have a phase 2 folder and a phase 3 folder. And then inside those folders, you need to have subfolders. So for phase 1, you need to have a sources folder and a research folder. Then inside those folders, for example, with sources, you need to have the saved web pages and other resources that you used when doing your research. In your research folder, however, this is where you are going to have your Word document. This is your phase 1 working document that you are going to create as part of phase 1. Okay, so please, that's the first thing. Get that sorted. Get your main folder, your phase 1, your sources, your research, because that's what you are going to hand in when it comes to the end of phase 1. So now we create the Word document. And what do they want us to do? Number 1, they want us to have a cover page. And that cover page must have your name, surname, name of your school, subject, PAT topic, and a content control. That is what must be on your cover page. So you have to have it. Professional looking, you can use any of the themes that they have, but it's just got to be a nice professional look to it, or have a nice professional look to it. Okay, so that's what should be on the first page. Then the following pages, or the pages that follow the cover page, should have these headings in this order: table of contents, figures, task definition, focus question, etc. So each one of these headings must be on its own page, and then they actually go down to give you, from what I can see here, descriptions of each and every one of these things so that you don't have to be confused. Remember, with our table of contents, we need headings in order to import them into our table of contents. For our table of figures, we need captions in order to pull those into our table of figures. And then we have the infamous task definition. Now, please, if you're stuck on any of this, continue to go through the channel, you'll see videos on each and every one of these items. The task definition, you can see here, this is where you've now looked through the theme, you've looked at the suggestions. Now you need to tell us what you are actually going to do. That must not be more than about 300 words from what I'm seeing here. Again, similar to the DBE as well, where you are stating what the problem is. And there they ask you, you need to state in that task definition, why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it because I've been asked to do it. I've been asked to research this. What's the focus? What's the purpose of your investigation? How and in what format are you going to present it? Maybe Word, PowerPoint, Excel. Who's your target audience? Okay, so all of those things need to be answered in the task definition. And if you answer them, you'll get your marks for that task definition. Okay, so please make sure you've answered those questions. Then after that, on the next page, we have the focus question. So the focus question, here they tell us the topic must be kept in mind when formulating this, and it must be presented in your final report. In other words, answered in your final report. Your focus question must be relevant. You must be able to research the focus question. And most importantly, look at the last point there, it should only be one question in a single sentence. Not a paragraph, not 3 sentences, just one sentence. Okay? You are going to answer that or provide the evidence, the solution to that in your phase 3. And then the biggest problem that a lot of people have is with the key questions. Now, I was looking through this and I think they make it a little less difficult, a little easier for you here. So with your key questions, you need to create 10 questions that are going to help you and guide you on your research, help you to find more information. And you can see from what they have here, they actually have a table that they want you to fill in or create and then fill in for each and every one of those questions. So there they say, for each question, recreate and complete the table below. So that table, you've got to create that, which means you're going to have 10 tables, right? Now, whether that table takes up one whole page or a half a page, it doesn't matter, but you are going to have 10 tables with a total of 10 questions. You're going to put your question number in, your question, the level, the source. You can see you need to have the accuracy, the objectivity, all this. The beauty of this is they're giving you a lot of information and explaining to you exactly what they want in the relevant places. So there we have question number. Then you put your question in there, the question level, and they'll actually have a breakdown of that further down. Then the source type, where are you going to get your answer from, right? Where are you getting it from? If from the internet or from a book, which one? The author. Now, please, with these, the author and the date published, if you can't find it, just put N/A for not applicable, because not all websites will have it. Yeah, that's just how it is. Okay, then the URL, then the currency. Let's go down. Currency, accuracy. Please read through that to make sure you understand what they want. Is the website or the source objective? Does it cover the info? Your summary is where you provide a little, 2-sentence summary of the information found on your particular source, and then a screenshot maybe of the web page that you went to. So yeah, I think they make it fairly clear there for you. What is usually a bit of a problem is the fact that you need this structured under 3 headings. So you can see that we need 10 questions, but when you go down, they say to you that we need to have 3 headings. So your 10 questions need to be grouped under 3 different headings. So you could, for example, say, well, heading 1, it's just basic info. So what is online shopping? What is e-commerce? Things like that. Maybe heading 2, you're going to put under that the questions that are going to give you a bit more detail. Maybe the third heading is going to be something different. Okay? So you are going to be grouping your 10 questions under 3 different headings, depending on what those headings are. It's entirely up to you how you actually want to group everything. Okay, so they just give you an example, and that's why they've underlined it. It's an example as to what you want, but please, that table, you have to use that table as is, so you need to recreate that. Make sure you have your headings, make sure you have a total of 10 questions, they are answered, everything is filled in, and then you'll be able to get all your marks from there. So they actually go further down, and I think give you a little more info. Let's just see. Yes, you can see at the bottom there it says how to complete each table. So they take you through all of that information. There's your levels that they were talking about. So your questions must be on 3 different levels. So you can have 8 questions on a level 1, 1 question on a level 2, 1 question on a level 3. And that's fine. As long as with your 10 questions, you have at least 3 different levels of questions. So please check that before you say it's a level 1 and you didn't even check to see whether it's a level 1 or a level 2. Okay. They mention here about a source type section. Yeah, okay, we've gone through all of that. And then we look at what now must be submitted for phase 1 once we are done. So it's going to be that main folder. And you can see there they say the Word document plus everything you've saved in your research folder for phase 1. Okay, and that's all we need for phase 1.